right, everybody, we are back with Loving the Skin I'm In. In this segment, we're going to try to stay on the rails just a little bit more. We are going to talk about the roles of men and women, like for real this time. As you see, the title says, Woman, do as I say and not as I do. We are going to be treading into dangerous territory. So anyway, over the last couple of weeks, and really kind of years, but the last couple of weeks and days, I've been noticing a lot of conversation on social media regarding the roles of men and women. From things like, who should pay on a date? Should a man take care of all the expenses in the household? What should the woman do? Should a woman cook for a man, and all this other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get down to the nitty gritty and see if we can come to a happy medium as to what should go on in a relationship. So I've done a little bit of research, as I sometimes like to do, and per my research, because I want to outline what it means to be a housewife and what it means to be a husband, I guess you could say, a provider. Okay, so a man who is in a relationship. How about that? We should probably try to find a title that works just a little bit more. But anyway, so some of the things that I came up with as far as what a housewife or a homemaker is. And so those titles that I came up with are a wife, a partner, helpmeet, better half, mother, manager, accountant, counselor, consultant, confidant, nurse, chef, fashionista, leader, lover, educator, motivator, inspirational leader, or whatever you want to call it, organizer, decorator, creative director, financial advisor, respected, enforcer, and ultimately an asset. Okay, now for a father slash husband should be a spouse, a partner, helpmeet, better half, head of house, breadwinner, provider, protector, mentor, teacher, leader, lover, respected, handy, resourceful, and he is the reinforcement, and he is also an asset. Now, a lot of times people will, especially since the feminist movement has really taken hold, not just the first part of it during the women's suffrage movement in the early 1900s, but in the 1960s, women are like, no, I'm so much more than those things. And so all the things I read, like, what more? I mean, obviously you can have a career in that kind of stuff, but a lot of women have taken, how can I say this? They've had a problem with the word being submissive, and that if I'm being submissive, that must be a bad thing. Right. Why do I need to submit? Or they'll think it means to bow down. Or why do I need to bow down to him or do what he says and all this other stuff?
I think in the Bible it also says that a man must be submissive to his wife.
Be submissive to his wife, and he also must be worthy of being submitted to, in that he should treat her right and be loving, and obviously not saying, bitch, where's my beer? That kind of stuff. So he needs to be worthy of that as well. It's a give and take. It's just not as you would go to your book of Ike, and say, do as I say.
What the problem is.
Right, so it works both ways. But as I said, there's been this debate a lot about what is it a man is supposed to do. And you'll hear a lot of people say, especially men, who say it's not like it used to be. But who says that a man needs to take out the trash? Who says that a man should pay on the first date?
First of all, most men in our generation, that's what we did. So these men that say that ain't what it used to be, that must be a different generation of these kids that don't know.
These are, you know what, Donovan? I agree with you, but if I'm lying, I'm flying, that these are men your age.
Wow, okay.
Who are in their young 20s. No, I'm just like...
young 20s, right.
They're saying these things. These are men your age who are...
lazy-ass men.
They're holding firm to the fact that, why do I got to pay on the first date?
Oh, yeah.
Or
why
do I? Who says that I need to take out the trash?
Well, first of all,
open your door?
Yeah. First of all, I take offense to you even calling those men.
And these men are calling themselves men.
No,
they're saying that a woman should have to do those things for me as well. And I'm telling you, that's what I've been seeing.
Those aren't men, and I'll stick by that. And
there's a lot of men too who will say that we don't live in a day and age to where a woman can stay home. And
that's not true either.
I agree with you, but that's what they're saying. There's two incomes, and I need my woman to work. Why should I be at work and she's at home?
That is not a man. A woman that has to leave the home to work to supplement the income, you can, and we talk about this all the time, Dee, you can actually live with your woman staying home. Now, are you going to have cable TV? No. Are you going to have these luxuries?
I got to have my cable TV now.
Well, you see what I'm saying?
Well, no, I know.
You know, you can do it. So, that's bullshit. Go ahead.
Right, and so, again, these are men your age, and some of them are even older, who are, that is their attitude, that's their stance. Belle is sitting under kicking.
She came in and just rolled down.
That's their stance. I'm not taking care of no woman. If I got to work, she's got to work. She don't need to stay home to take care of the kids.
That ain't a man.
You know, all this. How come? Who says the man can't stay home and take care of the kids?
Exactly.
So that's what a lot of these men are saying.
That's not a man. A man is supposed to work. It's predetermined in the Bible what our rules are.
Well, you know, a lot of these, and you know what the crazy part about it is too? A lot of women are agreeing with that. A lot of women are saying that they don't see a problem with her going to work and taking care of why the man takes care of the home or the kids. But we now know in a lot of these instances, a lot of times the men aren't staying home to do any of those things. They're just staying home to play, what's it, Operation Black Ops or whatever, video game.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty or whatever they, you know.
You know, and here's the funny thing. All these people that play Call of Duty would never join the military.
But they
they're badass online, you know. But they'll never. Oh, I can't join the military. But they can tell you everything about Call of Duty. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna speak for myself. My woman, Belle, and Misty over there. No, my woman, if a woman that's gonna be with me. Now, when I was younger, of course, you're struggling, going through what you got to do. Now I'm mature, whatever it is. A woman that's gonna be with me, she will work because that's what she wants to do.
Get out of town.
That's it.
And you single? Why?
Because I got my shit together. That's why I'm single.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
I mean, because honestly, from a woman's point of view, a man like you should not be single. There's a lot of women who say, oh, I just want a man, you know, who'll take care of me and this, that, and the other. And nowadays that sounds superficial. But back then, like I was, me and Al was having this conversation yesterday. I said, you know, go ask your mother. She'll tell you back then. They amongst her and her friends, and even stuff they probably heard from their mothers, like, girl, you better know how to cook and clean if you want to take care of a man.
Right.
You got to learn how to keep a house and, you know, all this other stuff. That was like the expectations. But nowadays, like, shit, he better learn how to cook for me. Who says I'm going to be cooking for a man? I don't want to cook for no man.
I always say this, and you know, me and you talk about this all the time. I'm not a rich man, whatever the deal is, but But I will take all my money to pay, because this is what my definition of what a man is supposed to be, and the way I was taught a man is supposed to do.
Take notes, y'all. Take notes.
Yeah, basics of being a man. When I asked my mom about my dad, she goes, well, I'll tell you what, he was a man. She said, but that's all I'm going to tell you. And she said, he provided a roof over our heads, food, paid the utilities, and you know any extras for clothes and stuff, whatever. Basically, he came home, gave her check, and that was it. She said, did we have cable? You know, there wasn't cable and didn't
right.
But she said at the end of the day, if that's all he had, she said he completed the tenets of what a man's supposed to do. That was it. She goes, if we wanted any extra, she would have to go out there and go do it, and she wasn't going to go do that.
Right, and my mom and dad was the same way. My dad would come home and hand my mom his check.
That's it.
Once she told me a story about one time he got paid or whatever the case was. Handed her the check as he always did, and she said she thought there was more money, so she said she went and bought us all shoes, you know, some groceries and stuff, and so she's
supposed to make break bread with that.
Yeah, but he wanted some money to do something. I don't know what it was, and she said, "Oh, I spent it all. I don't have enough. I thought, you know, you had more." He said, "No, I gave you my whole check," and so he said, "Well, don't worry about it." He took us to the park, and he's on the way to the park. He said, "My dad is a mechanic. A guy was broken down on the side of the road." And so he stopped to help this man fix his car, and the guy gave him $20 back in the 70s.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But she said he did what a man
would do.
Yeah, you know, he didn't, you know, how much you need? Okay, here go $5.
Right.
He gave her the whole check and trusted her to do the right thing, you know, and he didn't even get mad about it. He's like, okay, let's take the kids to the park.
Right, because, I mean, unfortunately, you got women like that say, okay, well, you know, she knows they're short, and of course, women back in those days are skimming off the top for that get mad day money. Every real man knows that there's an account or money that she's taking off the top.
My grandma said, never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing.
Right. So, I mean, we're not stupid in that aspect. Right. You know, when that get mad day comes, you know, in case you want to leave.
But that get mad money.
But my point is, the woman knew the finances of the home, and she would make that thing stretch. So, instead of going to Walmart and getting the $2 bread, some women, housewives, would go to the bakery.
Or making their bread.
Making the bread, or they go to the bakery and get the 99-cent. You can get 2 loaves for 99 cents versus the 1 loaf for $1.89. So, that's how that thing was. So for me, I have no problem at the end of the day, and there's no shame in it. If my woman wants to go to a restaurant, okay, my money's already been spent. The truck has been paid, the insurance has been paid, everything's been paid. I'm broke. No, I'm not using my credit card so we can just go live luxury like that.
Right.
Whatever money she has, but do you want to go out? Okay. Yeah. Look, here comes the bill. Oh, no. No.
Here goes some of my little get mad money right here.
Yeah, here you go. We're having a nice time. but I'm still a man.
Right.
Nothing was taken from me.
Right. Yeah, it's not like that anymore. Like my dad says, he says women nowadays, and my dad is 73, he always talking about, I'm getting me a young woman. I don't want no old woman. I'm like, look at you.
I ain't mad at him.
I want me a young thing. But it's what he says. But, says unfortunately, a lot of women, a man will bring in a spoonful of money and she's shoveling it out the back door.
Yeah.
These women nowadays aren't financially savvy, like you said. They knew how to make the money go.
Right.
Nowadays,
now they're getting their weave and their nails.
Or and I'm not saying a woman doesn't have the right to go to the mall, but that shouldn't take precedence over the household.
Right.
You shouldn't be having to call a light company. Look, can I get an extension? While you, walking around in the latest everything.
I always say, at the end of the day, when I come home, when I was married, when I would come home, I told her, as long as my lights are on, my water is on, and there's food in my refrigerator, you ain't got no problems out of me.
Right. And then to people's argument of, the man and the woman need to work. And listen, I'm not saying
that's
whether.
Not true.
I think people ultimately should do what they want to do in their own relationship. But I agree with you. That is a myth. I read a book that was called Debt or Slavery to Debt, where it highlighted back in the day where, let's say it was a family of 4, a wife, a husband, and 2 kids. They had a 2-bedroom house, 1 car. The father had maybe 1 or 2, 3 suits, a couple that he wore to work, and 1 that he wore to church, a couple pair of shoes. The wife also had a few dresses, around the house, out to town, church dresses or whatever. And the kids, the same thing. The kids shared a room. The husband and the wife had the room. The father took the car to work. The mom did what she needed to do around the house, and she was able to stay home. But now, in this day and age, the wife's got a BMW. The husband's got a Mercedes. And I'm not saying
got a $500,000 home that is way too big for what they need, but
and way too big for their bank account. So now the woman's got to get out there and bust a hustle. And it's not that like for that out the dinner money like you said. It's to actually try and pay the bills because most of those people are struggling.
Right. What's the new slavery? Debt.
It's debt. It absolutely is debt, and a lot of people don't understand it. You don't have to have 2 cars and this, that, and the other to be a success. I mean, because back in the day, the goal was to make the house a home, and it took obviously the man and the woman to do that, but to also raise productive children. So when the children came home to a mama who was in the home,
your mother raising you, not a stranger.
Right, it was your mother. You didn't like in the term came about when we were children, latchkey kids.
I was a latchkey kid.
Yeah,
sure was.
So you didn't go. Children didn't come home to an empty house and a microwave, heat you up a hot pocket or whatever the case is.
Your mom had either meal pre-cooked.
Right, you get out these school clothes, put on some plain clothes, do your homework. Here's a snack, go outside, come back in, take all that kind of stuff. But so that was valuable back then. The mother in the home was valuable, but the emphasis on the value of a mom in the home has been taken away and replaced by, as you said, debt.
Right.
You need to get out there and make some money.
John Kennedy said this in the 1960s, and there's actually a dossier of it. Do you know that there was a plot and a plan to enslave every man, woman, and child? And we talk about one world government and stuff like that. That's what this is about. And notice that after John Kennedy was killed and the 60s were coming to a close, the women's movement comes and the women are like, I can go work. So the plan has now been fruition. So now you've got 2 parents working and they're still not making it.
Still not making it, but there's not only they're still not making it, but they still got to have the latest of everything. There's a TV in every room. Yeah. There's cable, throughout the house. There's all this elaborate stuff, but they're always talking about needing money.
More and more and more. And, and this goes back to the question you asked me, why am I by myself? Here's the reason why I'm by myself. Not just because I got my shit together. Because I refuse to go back into debt. So some women you get with the girl and you say, oh, yeah, well, let's go get this big house. Well, why would you want to? This is fine. We
got a lot of confines right here. Yeah.
I mean, this house is paid for. Even if you're working, you get to keep your check if you're with me. We ain't got no debt here.
Right.
Oh, no, but we got to have a big house of our own.
Well, because it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with showing the world that we have arrived and we've got this nice big old house and, these cars and,
but why would I want to be a slave?
Well, because it's that facade. You got to project that to everybody else. But we are here.
Right, but see, me, I know better. I'm not walking into slavery. So I say, no, I'm continuing here. You see what I say, D? I'm probably going to die here. That's why I'm trying to turn my little shack
into a coffin. No, I'm just
Well, at least I'm not putting up steel gates and, the cartel's coming. I'm making a jail for myself. No, I'm not doing that. But, that's one of the reasons, because I refuse to go. Some people ask me to go, have you used your VA housing thing? I said, no.
So, and that's the other thing, too, because it's there, I got to use it.
Yeah.
Why? You got everything you need already taken care of.
Right. I mean, so I don't want to do that. And because I don't want to do that, and a lot of women that I meet, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have good goals, but if it's just me and you have grandchildren, and I'm going to have grandchildren one day, why do we need a 7-bedroom house?
Because that's the way things have gone. Society has made us to believe, the giant marketing machine has made us believe that you need to have those things in order to be successful.
Which is not true. And then I have friends that will come up in my face to this very day and says, you know what, I'm worth over $1 million. I say, well, really?
Dead.
Well, no. They don't even. They're so stupid. They don't even think about that. They go, I'm over $1 million. I said, well, how do you figure you're worth $1 million? Well, my house is worth $480,000. My Mercedes is worth $33,000.
Do you have the notes to all those things?
No, and that's what I'm trying to tell them. I said that doesn't. Somewhere in society, they antiquated debt with wealth. You don't own that, so no, you're not worth $1 million.
Because we now live in a society that says that material things make you who you are.
No.
If you don't have the
wealth
big
is
house
what you
and
have
all
in the
that,
bank,
or people see you with the red bottoms and all that, then you ain't shit.
Right. And here's the funny thing. I've got these friends that make big money. I mean, these guys are working, McDonnell Douglas, Boeing, wherever they're at. And you see me in China and things like that. I don't make a lot of money. I mean, I'm not all that. But I'm traveling and doing what I'm doing, and I have a meager wage. But I'm doing more than the people who supposedly have money.
Because it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And a lot of people will say that, yeah, I'm making 6 figures. I've got all this money.
But they don't go anywhere.
Because you're not keeping none of that. The minute it hits your bank account, it's being transferred out to pay the debt and the bills and stuff.
And the bill. That's why I look at them and I'm like, wait a minute, you make way more money than I do, but yet you don't have time to vacation. You don't have time to spend time with your children.
Right.
You don't have time for anything.
So, there you have it. Back to the conversation of what is it that men and women should be doing. To me, it's not even what it should be doing. It's now it's gotten to the argument of it's impossible. Well, even if a man wanted his woman to stay home, she can't stay home no more.
It's not true.
Because they can't afford it. It's like you don't want to afford that.
Well, the thing is, you got to make some decisions. Do you necessarily need satellite TV with 800 channels? Do you necessarily need? They're
trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, I mean, it's like me right now. Okay, I have the lawns. It has grass in the lawn, and so, they want to go to desert landscape. For me, at my age, I'm going to desert landscape, putting rocks out there. I don't care, because I got to put gas into the lawnmower machine. I got to keep the lawnmower up. I don't want to do those things anymore. Every little thing you do to cut back, I don't have to spend. That's money that I get to save.
Right.
And my wealth increases.
Right.
But everybody, I got to have this. I got to have that. I've got a friend that their lawn is about the size of this table. He has to have the $500 lawn machine that's like super big and stuff like that. I'm looking at him like.
And that probably has a lot to do with the neighbors seeing me, mowing my grass. That ain't for them. It's for other people.
Insanity.
It is.
Insanity. So the roles, when a man says that his wife has to, no, that's not true. You need to either man up and get 2 jobs and handle your woman.
Ooh, you gonna get it now? You talk about the man getting 2 jobs?
You need to get 2 jobs. But then again, the sad thing is, the reality, in today's reality, most men do have 2 jobs.
And the wife is working
and the wife is working, and they're still not making it.
Right. And then, I'm just going to say this from a woman's point of view. I know as a woman honestly, I've just never been in a situation where I've had a man take care of me. Just that's never been my situation. But I do know that if that were ever going to be the case, that it is my duty to be a good steward over the money of the household. It's my duty to make sure that my man is not out there in vain, busting his hump, potentially going to catch a heart attack because he's trying to keep me afloat.
So you're saying that Al is going to give you his check and just say, here.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Because remember I told you those other kids that Al has and he hasn't told you about that haven't popped up yet? He didn't tell you he got a 23-year-old, did he?
Yeah, yes, I do know that.
Okay. I'm letting you know. And then there's a 30-year-old daughter out there.
No.
I saw him on Judge Mathis. I saw Al on Judge Mathis arguing now. He's good. No, Al's a real good guy. He's a real good guy. Southern gentleman. He's really good.
But I just think as a woman, it is your duty to make sure that your man is not out there in vain. When he's at work, it's not like, damn.
Yeah.
If I work 8 hours, it still ain't gonna pay the bills.
Right. Here's my thing. I don't mind as a man doing what I'm supposed to do and going above and beyond, as long as when I come home, I got me some nice iced tea and she is in a nice Victoria's Secret bra and panties that match.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Doing your job. I shouldn't have to get hassled after stressing at a job and then come home and I want a little loving and then, I'm tired.
Well, there's this 1950s article, and I'm sure you've read it too. It's from Good Housekeeping back in the 1950s, and it actually outlined the roles, I guess you could say, of a housewife. And it basically spoke to when a man comes home, and I'm paraphrasing, but it said when he comes home, have his slippers ready. Have him a nice cold drink. Don't burden him with what happened throughout the day. Don't let that be the first thing you tell. Don't nag him and let him sit in his easy chair and kind of just
and give him some time,
decompress, and make sure the kids are clean and they're not worrying the father. Of course, fathers don't care because we did it to my father, but just let it be his space, just for even if it's for 5 minutes.
I used to tell my ex-wives. After flying all day and dealing with the military, give me an hour. Just leave me alone. Let me come home and get out of that.
Right.
I'm this person.
Before, let me tell you what happened.
I don't have time. Just give me an hour. And just because I want to go sit to myself and get my thoughts together, you don't ever want to talk. I'm just asking for an hour.
Well, and I don't make a habit of quoting Steve Harvey a lot. I think I think he's his highly contestable book, Act Like a Woman, Act Like a Lady and Think Like a Man. A lot of people said it was garbage, which I agree that a lot of it is garbage. But
here's a man that married a woman that consistently dated dope dealers and all. And
who was also the jump off of the side piece to his so it's like
I'm just.
But he made a good point, and I don't even know if it came from the book, but he was just telling women, he says there's 2 things here regarding a man, especially when he gets off work. If the man, when he pulls up into the driveway, sits there, and he's sitting there like, okay, all right, I just need a moment before I go in the house. He said, that's not good.
Right.
He said, but on the other hand, if the man is, whipping around the corner and he's in the driveway, he can't
hopping out of the car.
And he can't wait to see you, that means that you're probably doing something right. So make the household conducive for the man to say, you know what, I don't care what she got to say to me, I just want to see her, I miss her, and all that. Make it that way. Don't make it to where he's got to sit in the driveway or whatever, because I know this is the only piece I'm going to get before I walk in the door. Right,
he's dreading to come in, but I'm going to say something. My boo thing, Amanda, I love her braids and everything. She took her braids out.
Yeah, she had dreads. They were all the way down her back.
Oh, my God, beautiful. She got her dreads, which I didn't have a problem with. And now she's letting her hair breathe again and coming out and like that. Gorgeous thing. And that goes back to, again, a woman like her. Successful. She's a teacher. Why is she by herself?
Well, she's not technically by herself.
She's cheating on me?
Well, she has a boyfriend. She does.
I'm the side. Well, I don't mind being the side piece.
She has a boyfriend, but a woman like her, not just her, but a lot of women, are single, because after a while, when you go through so many things,
right.
you know your worth.
Right, absolutely.
You know your worth, and you know what you're not going to go through again. Mm-hmm. Going to the loving the skin. I mean, you know who you are, and you're just not going to settle for anything. You've done that.
Right.
In your 20s and your 30s, you settle for, you settle for the talk and not the walk. You listen to guys say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Oh yeah, and then a couple weeks down the road, it's like, wait a second. What happened to that guy that was doing all this, that, and the other?
He said he had to say to get what he got to get.
Right. And so now we know, as women, I'm just speaking for women, we know who we are. So it's like, yeah, heard that before. You ain't getting in these draws.
Right. A lot of women aren't even wearing draws. Very, it's very telling. But no, when it comes to the roles and stuff, like I said, I think people got it backwards because, like I said, for me, I am tired of being in competition to be a man. I don't need to be in a competition with you to be a man.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. My pastor of the church I used to go to, she made a point that some women are so manly, not just in how they look, more so in how they behave and the things that they say and how they think. She says the last thing a man want to do is feel like he's laying in the bed with another man.
Right.
Now, obviously, I'm not talking about physically. I'm all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
She's running the show.
Yeah, so he's probably like, damn, am I with a woman?
I'm
or
just
with a
here
dude?
as a tool.
Right, somebody who is just austere in how they speak and how they think.
Yeah, I'm just here to be sexual gratification, and that's it.
And my father always says, too, he says, I'm not going to allow no woman to take my manhood by usurping me. Now, he's very old school, but he's like you. He's like, I don't want no woman doing nothing for me.
Right.
I'm the provider, I'm the protector, I'm the head of the household, now I'm going to do my part and I want to do hers, but what she's not going to do is, I'm going to be doing all those things and then come try to tell me what to do and what she ain't going to do and you be quiet. No, I'm not putting up with that.
Right, and at the same time, it's not a dictatorship. When I say that, for some reason, women take it as, oh my God, you want to run it. No, all I'm saying is,
you're not going to rule over me.
Right, at the end of the day, the decision is mine. If you're coming to me with it, this is what I think. Well, honey, this is what I think.
And for most people, and not even just from a religious standpoint, but for most people who know how a functional relationship works, you know that the man is, and I'm not feminist, I'm not talking to you, okay? So step off. I'm not talking to you, okay? You go and you run your man around by the collar and by a leash and you tell him what the hell to do all day. Y'all do that.
Good luck.
But a woman worth her weight is one, and yes, I did say that. A woman worth her weight is one, knows that the man is the head of the household, and if she takes something to him, honey, what do you think of this? Well, I really like to purchase that. And he says, well, I think it's nice, however, we need to wait. Okay, honey. But then, a woman also worth her weight, well, if that's, something she really wants, will find a different way of maybe getting her man to come over to her side, but she ain't gonna just go purchase it. Well, you don't tell me what to do. This is my money too. I do it. She ain't gonna do none of that either. She gonna say, okay, honey, if you think that's best. Yeah, and then try to find another way to get it.
Right, but these younger women now are settling for these boys that have never grown up. And the boy is 27 years old. He's still playing video games. He's still doing this. And they're having children with these young men, and basically they're children in themselves. So you have children raising the children, and the roles have been, because these mothers are not letting these men be men, and they're not raising them as men. Because I know people say, well, a woman can't raise a man. Not true.
She can raise a man, but she can't teach a man to be a man.
Be a man, and I understand that, because my mother raised me and my brother as a widowed mother, and she did a hell of a job. But she used that based on her father. So if you had a son right now, and let's say your ex is gone, you're going to use the standard of what your father would say.
Right, or I would find the next best thing in a man to have him mentor him. Right, but I would
Jeremiah,
but I will always know that I can never teach him how to be a man. I'm a woman. I wouldn't even know the first thing how to go about doing that.
But if given that role, like my mother was put in that role, she's gonna, and she basically told me, my brother, and it's real sad because I love my mom to death, but when I look at my mom, I don't even see a female.
What do you see?
I see my mom.
Well, yeah, okay.
Gender neutral. Right. It's like she used to talk to us like if it was a man.
Right.
She'd say stuff like, she was just so raw.
Well, she didn't raise you, and excuse my French, I know I should probably find a better word. She didn't raise you to be a pussy, for a lack of better words.
Right.
She didn't raise you soft. She didn't make you think that you had to, everything was owed to you.
Yeah.
And she didn't make you guys sorry men for women, and that's what a lot of these women are making their sons. They're making them sorry individuals for the woman that will potentially be in a relationship with them. Like the woman you just described, or the man described, who's 27 years old playing a video game, and women are putting up with it. And I think from a woman's point of view, we do it because I can change him.
I don't know what, you know, and here's the funny thing. A lot of these young women think that their shit is platinum.
Well, because somewhere along the line, maybe they've seen their mother do it. They've seen their mother put up with dudes, and it's not just my words, but I hear a lot of men say, well, you know, a lot of black women are getting with these drug dealers and all sort of stuff. But perhaps they've seen their mom do that. You know, get with men who were no good, or just laid up on her dime, her time. Then go to work, or, you know, stayed out late, having other women in the picture.
You know, I see some of these beautiful young women with these dudes that are just like, how did he get with her? Low self-esteem.
It's low self-esteem. I remember one time me and my father were out, and we watched this couple walk into, I think it was a Subway or something, but his pants were sagging below his butt. He had on the house slippers with the socks.
And she happy to be with him.
And that's what my dad said. He says, I don't know how some of these women go out in public with these men, and this is what he says, won't even pull his pants up off his ass.
Right.
You know, so basically he said pull him up, but he won't pull his pants up off his ass. He said, I don't know what's wrong with these women that you would be seen in public when you won't even like and he said also a man. And he also says a woman worth her weight will impose demands upon her man.
Of course, yes.
But society has you thinking, oh, why you got to demand your man? No, you got it wrong, boo. It's if I see you walking out the house and your pants are sagging. Listen, honey, I love you. However, I'm gonna need you to pull your pants up because I don't want to be seen with you out in public.
But isn't that a reflection of you and that family and everything like that?
Absolutely, but those are demands that if your man for whatever reason lost his mind and think he should be walking out the house like that, as a woman, you